Hi, this is Jacob Wolf with ESPN Esports, and I am joined by Zain, the Genesis 7 Super Smash Bros. Melee champion. Take that in for a second. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. I've been thinking about this day for a long, long time. Last year was a lot of heartbreak, a lot of Game 5s lost, but I finally closed it out.
Coming into that grand final set against Hungrybox, you had beat him once earlier and sent him to losers. You even beat him again, but before Genesis, your record against him was 4-17. You've done it at a major before in Shine, but nothing as prestigious as Genesis. How does this differ from beating him before, and what does this mean?
The scale is just so much different, honestly. Just the prestige associated with Genesis. To be able to take that home is just a dream come true. That 4-17 record super hurt, but I've always known that that's one of my best matchups, and it was just a matter of maintaining composure. Like that last game, I was nervous, but I was keeping it cool, and it paid off.
I don't think anybody would argue, given sort of your ascendancy the past 2.5 years, would argue your skill. You're one of the most talented players of the world. You have struggled at times to sort of keep it composed to go on to win tournaments. What was different about today than previous tournaments where you've come close before?
Honestly, just a lot of mental preparation. Like, I've practiced the game a lot, my attack skill, studying matchups, but being very conscious about my mentality and keeping it cool, like adjusting my breathing, focusing on my heart rate. Those were like key aspects to this grand finals win. So I think that this will be a big step forward to many more victories.
You know, coming into the set you had with him at the beginning of the day today on Sunday against Hungrybox, he had played PBU, he had played mini Marths in his bracket. Was that anywhat concerning to you that he was going to have some warm-up against throughout this weekend against the character that ultimately you beat him with?
No, I mean, regardless, he's going to warm up before top 8, so I didn't actually think about it at all until someone pointed it out to me. We all play pretty differently too, so if anything, it might have thrown him off a little bit, but yeah, I wasn't too worried about that.
You know, I find your story particularly interesting. You are of the set of these new Super Smash Bros. Players who have really ascended in the past 2 to 3 years in a way that, you know, you're kind of breaking up the God tier, right? Mango and Hungrybox both placed in the top 3, but you and Leffen and some of these others have really been there too with them more consistently than ever. What do you think about sort of how the changing the guard is occurring right now in Smash as a large, at a whole?
I think it's very, very healthy for the game, especially with Armada retiring. Hopefully PP's coming back soon. I'm a huge fan. I think it's very healthy for the game to have this new blood coming in, especially with IBDW. I think he'll be on the rise in a bunch of top 8s. Yeah, I think the longevity of the game looks good right now. 2020, there's so many people that can take tournaments. It's just very, very exciting, and I think Melee's looking good.
We'll end on this. Again, everybody knows that you're one of the best players from a technical perspective. What do you have to do in 2020 to maintain consistency and make this a more reoccurring theme for you throughout the year?
Recapture and remember how I felt in this top 8. It was very like flow state, honestly. I wasn't thinking too hard or stressing too hard. Just remembering that feeling and carrying it to every other tournament. I feel like I've always been good with my preparation and practice. Just keep that up. And I think I can take a lot more this year.
Well, Zain, thank you so much. Congratulations again. For more Genesis 7's coverage, stay tuned here to youtube.com/ESPN Esports.